Well, good morning, boy and girls, and happy last Sabbath of the year, as Miss Linda already pointed out. I wonder if any one of you remembers the story that I told last time about hurting my leg on my neighbor's fence. I don't know if you were here, but I mentioned that there was a trail in their field, and that something happened on that trail that would be a story for another time. Well, this is another time, so I'm going to tell you that story. My brother Mike, who is 3 years younger, and we used to go down that trail when the cows weren't out. It was a nice shortcut to the next street, and you could go to town a lot faster that way. Well, we weren't allowed to go to town alone yet, but on that street were some friends that we would go to visit. I was about 8, Mike was 5 when this happened. So what do you think of my dog whacking stick? Like that? Scary dog stick. Well, I call it that because I take it for walks with my dog in case other people don't keep their dogs on leashes and they might run at us, which has happened before. Well, I had a stick like this, and Mike had one also when we walked that trail, but not for dogs. We would just slap at the grass and the weeds that grew along the side of the trail as we walked along, and Mike was behind me. Every once in a while he'd stop and he'd throw a rock in the water. You know, boys like to throw rocks. Do you like to throw rocks? Yeah, hopefully not at each other, but just in the water. That's a good thing. So we came around the bend in the trail, and I saw that lying just ahead in the middle of the path was a big snake. It was all curled into a coil-like rope, just laying there resting in the sun. Do any of you like snakes? Not me. Oh, no. We talked about this in Sabbath school. Snakes and vipers, how they'll be tame in the new earth, but I'm still not going to touch them. Sorry. Well, this wasn't just any old snake. I saw that at the end of its curled up tail, it had something called rattlers. You know what those are? Well, they come with a rattlesnake attached. And those are poisonous, and they can kill you if they bite you. The rattlers are used to warn people and other animals to not get too close. But we were already too close. So I put my hand behind me to stop Mike, and I went, shh. But now what? Should we run back the other way? What if the snake would come after us? That probably wouldn't happen, but we didn't know. What would you do?
Run away.
Run away. You would run away. You'd take that risk. Okay, well, I'll tell you what I did, and it still makes me shiver. I took my good old stick, and with a big sweeping streak, I shoved that snake into the stream. And it didn't like that very much. He was trying to swim upstream to get, close to the ground so he could get back up out of the water. Well, we didn't wait to see if he made it. We ran as fast as we could up the rest of that trail. Our mommy and daddy didn't really believe our story. Can you imagine that? And you know why? It's because snakes were created by God with special senses. And that snake should have heard us coming from a long way off, but it didn't. And boys and girls, as I got older, I began to realize that maybe one of our guardian angels put that snake into a deep sleep or made it deaf, and then gave me the good sense to knock it out of the way. Your guardian angel can protect you also because they have that command from God. Pastor, would you please read us Psalm 91:11?
For he will give his angels, commands his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways.
Thank you. Now, because you've listened so well, I have a little treat for you to take back to your seat. Now, don't worry, Mom and Dad, it's not a snake. She's afraid to reach her hand in there, I can tell. Thank you, and happy Sabbath.